Westward bound, first trip of the year. Kind of just hit me. Like, I was like planning this trip with Josh. It's here. We're gonna go get on some whitetails in Nebraska. We're going to Nebraska. I think we're gonna stay on the eastern portion, but I'll be honest with you. I've done some map scouting. I got some ideas, but you don't know until you get boots on the ground here. And my game plan here is we're gonna scout as long as we have to until we get in the sign, because I'm not the type of guy who's gonna go and put up a stand and hope for the best. We're gonna scout until we find the sign, and maybe only have to hunt 2 days. That's the goal, at least. We might have to scout 2 days, but if we only got to hunt 2 days to get it done, you know, it is what it is. Never been to Nebraska hunting wise. Drove through it a bunch, but I don't know. Standards aren't going to be overly high. If we can get on like a good 3-year-old deer, you take that and you run with it in a state you've never been to. Like I said, I don't even have a clue where we're going or what we're doing, so we're just going to wing it. But finally, we're on the first whitetail trip of the year. All those other trips are fun, but I'd be lying to you if I said they were more fun than whitetail trips, and I think a lot of you guys would agree. So we're headed west. You can't find a good side. I'm ugly no matter how you look at it.
That's true.
All right, quick update. Going with the 5mm arrows. I'm gonna shoot an expandable because it's 250 spine and that's a heavy arrow. Going back to expandables. We can go over that debate. The more important thing is we really didn't know where we were going. We kind of were winging it. Well, Josh did some more scouting. We're trying to not go all the way to western Nebraska. Now we're just gonna go to central Nebraska. We found some national forest land, a lot of land. We're going. I'm pumped. We're gonna be there by about 7. We're gonna miss out on tonight's hunt, but I'd rather sacrifice tonight's hunt and get in an area with never-ending options. So we got a plan. Woo!
It surprised me and landed in Texas. Love County has 100.
Back to the old FMJs. I thought I was getting away from these things, but now I got the 5mm. We didn't bring cameraman Josh in because this guy was not nice on the phone, but they ended up being okay when we got in there. It was a residential neighborhood, and I was like, am I at the right place? He's like, by golly! Dude, I'm just asking. I'm not from here. But they were all right. So now, wherever my keys are, we're gonna go to a new spot since last time we checked in Nebraska. We're gonna go kill a buck. Simple as that. Here we go. Guys, hopes are way too probably high right now. We pulled into where we need to be. We got fresh beans, we got dried beans, like we got green beans. We got good looking cover, CRP. This is the total package. I don't know what the deer numbers are like here, but I can't imagine that they're bad. I mean, maybe not like Kentucky where we're from, but this looks good. I think we're in for a good little treat. At least I hope so. Fingers are crossed. I'm looking forward to this one. This is gonna be fun.
There is no shortage of deer, guys. We got like 10 does out in this field. We've probably seen 40 deer tonight, 30 for sure. And we might have seen a nice, like, at least 120 buck on a different field, but he got in the thicket before we got a good look. These deer are pretty pressured on these fields. They don't like seeing people, so that's going to make it a little bit difficult really getting out here and seeing what's what. But I can tell you this, there is no shortage of deer. This is one of the better public land spots, if not the best I've ever seen. That's day 1. I'm excited for day 2.
Go speed scout, he said. It'll be fun, he said. Well, Mr. Brett rides off on his electric bike, and Josh is walking. And I'm like 30 years older than him. So fair.
These trees, not anything for rubs.
rubs or anything, but it looks like there's some scrapes and just a bunch of bedding right here. How far back did you go to find that rub?
It was like 20 yards back. It's not far back at all.
The only one?
Yeah, it's only one. I walked back. So they're coming up this knoll, and there's this thick stuff right here. It's kind of like that stuff right there, but it's taller. And they're coming in and out of it right in here, and there's probably a lot of bedding in it. And then they're taking trails down in that thick stuff going to that other field over there, but they're also going back this field edge. And there's a couple of little tree pockets right here on the outside in between this thick stuff and that travel corridor they're using. And you could set up on one of those tree lines easy.
I mean,
depending on the sun and the wind.
I'll block the spot that we're actually in. But back down on there, there's a little pocket of trees back there too.
Mm-hmm.
That might be worth looking at. It doesn't look like it has access to it. And this tree line kind of runs back all in there. I don't know. I think it's going to be less typical hardwoods hunting and getting back where other guys aren't going. Because those guys, they're probably going to depend on hanging a tree stand, and that's it. Maybe we hang a tree stand, maybe we don't. Should we go back farther into there?
Yeah, let's walk. We can see what I've seen real quick, and then we can make a decision.
Okay.
That's pretty fresh.
Oh yeah, that's this morning. The problem is, like, oh shit.
Oh yeah.
He's hauling.
Is it a buck?
Dude, they saw us, man. They saw us walk away, and look what they're doing.
Yep.
I told you. They're hidden. See, they're looking for us. She might have pegged us in. No. What'd I tell you? They were sitting there watching us. That south wind coming over their backs, most likely. Looking at the only way that people can come from the public land. That's why we're going to go around. There is some hardwoods up in there we could possibly put some tree stands in, but we might be hunting on the ground. Good sized deer too, just a lot of does here. We're going to catch into some bucks pretty soon here. We got that one decent one that Josh saw, so that's our backup plan. We're going to keep pushing though.
So it's Sunday morning. It's about 9 a.m. Brett dropped me off where we seen some buck tracks yesterday coming out of some corn and CRP. And I'm walking this trail on back, and as soon as I stepped off the road onto the trail, there were two does up in here in between some CRP and a little cornfield, as you could see behind me. So I'm just going to keep moving this little opening up, going up to the pines and working the pines back west. Brett went up to the main road to park, and he's gonna take his bike. He's gonna follow up the pines up towards me, and we're gonna meet and just look for sign. We seen two does coming out of that pine area earlier, and then these two does on this end. So hopefully we run into something and find some sign. We found one rub so far this morning, so we're getting closer.
This is way different from what we're used to. It's all river bottom, down the bottoms, now the tops. We're picking up on it.
Excuse me, miss. Do you know where there might be a buck who, I don't know, you don't like? Okay, now where? Just point me in the direction. Go. Just go where, show me where they are. Okay. See you later. Not very talkative.
Local girls.
Alright guys, one of the spots we scouted this morning, found a lot of buck sign. We just came back and there's a scrape over here. I don't know if we walked by it. There's nice rubs back there, there's tracks over here. We're both gonna do, we're gonna sit and watch from a distance basically tonight. Observation sits. But I'm putting this trail cam up, cell cam, because if that buck comes works that scrape in September, we're gonna kill him. So we'll see what hits it tonight, hopefully.
What's up, guys? Sitting up on this river bottom. I'm actually up north of it quite a bit of ways with the spot and scope. I'm just glassing it. There's cut corn and standing corn and some soybeans off to the west, and then some hay or alfalfa down around the cut corn, and obviously some CRP on this whole hillside. And then these cedar cuts on top of the tree that we found out a lot of deer bed in, actually, and other ones that we've saw the past 2 days. It's about 6:30 on Sunday evening, and the deer really should start pulling out into the fields anytime. We got here about 6:30 yesterday, and they were out in the fields moving around then, so it could happen anytime. I dropped Brett off about an hour and a half ago. He's going to sit up in another spot north of me and watch this other big field where the deer are pouring down into the bottom out of these draws, and these cedar draws. So hopefully with two of us sitting up in different spots, we can find some deer and make a move tomorrow on them. So we'll see what happens.
Well, guys, it was a pretty slow sit for me. Night number 1, observation sit. Had dove hunters behind me. It is what it is. My battery's dying, but Josh got on a nice 120-ish buck. That's what we're going after tomorrow, so we're gonna hop in the truck pretty soon here and see what he has to say and see if he's got some footage.
So, like I said to you guys, I had a super slow sit tonight. I had dove hunters and all kinds of crazy stuff going on over by me, and people were shooting and driving around, and I picked a dumb spot. I just wanted to see a lot. But Josh went over on this other spot that he wanted to check out and he thought would be a good idea. Had literally every food source that you could want. It had beans, corn, and alfalfa. And we kind of thought alfalfa was going to be the ticket right now, but didn't really know, because very rarely are you in a scenario where you have all three. Like, we had green beans, dry beans, we had chopped corn, standing corn, and we had alfalfa, like all in the same area. So he saw like 30 deer tonight, and within that was this deer. And the side profile, I was like, all right, yeah, it's like a decent buck, you know, nothing crazy. And then all of a sudden he looks up a little bit more right there, and I mean, that's a high 120s, low 130s deer, I would say, for sure. Good brow tines. So, public land in a state that I'm not from and that we like have never been to or anything like that, that buck's going down tomorrow. So we're deciding how we want to get in there. There's hay bales and stuff. I'm trying to find like a sporting goods store, maybe get a hay bale blind. That would be best case scenario. We're game planning right now. A little bit worried. Pretty pumped up, but a little bit worried. So we don't know how we're gonna get away with it. Hopefully we get multiple chances if necessary. Hopefully we just kill him the first time. I don't know. We're gonna sleep on this one though.